Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me today. My name is Peter. Welcome back to Invest with Peter. So today I'm going to be talking about, we have random people on YouTube now, on, internet telling you what to do, what not to do, and all that stuff. I remember growing up, we have these uncle, parents, cousins, neighbors that will tell you, don't do this is not good for you, it's against the culture. The more you do this, the more you get yourself in trouble and all that stuff. They put us in line, just in short. Now, we have this situation where the young kids now will prefer to listen to somebody on the internet than listening to their own parent. That's the world we live now. Okay, where am I going with this? Investing has changed a couple of years ago, and people now prefer to, go social networking and social investing instead of actually seeking a financial advisor. And that's why we have people in 2020, we have all these strange bull runs, hedge funds were wondering what's really going on in the stock market. Who is the brain behind all this stuff? There comes the Reddit. This group are the group of people, over 1 million, members, trying to push out this information about these stocks, about this company to buy and all that stuff. And they buy this company. But at the end of the day, when the bear market comes, everybody, start running everywhere. I've made a mistake. I've done this. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have bought this in the first place. Why am I even in this situation at this point? Well, I'll be telling you, there's some people you don't need to listen to, depending on how you invest and what you invest. In investment, we have day traders. We have types of traders, right? We have day traders. We have option traders. We have short-term traders. We have long-term investors, long-term traders, long-term investors. That's what I mean by that. And we have swing traders. See, if you're a long-term investor and you're listening to somebody who deals with options, you're going to get yourself in trouble. I'll call it plain blank like that. Because I did something a couple of years ago. I was listening to this guy. I didn't know he was into margin. All he does is margin, option, and all that stuff. And he was telling us, yeah, get involved in this and that. Buy this, by December this, by December that, by November, this is turn green, this is turn, 70%, something like that. So I was like, okay. So I was buying into this company and not even, properly researched. That was years ago, right? And at the end of the day, I regret buying that stuff because this guy is not actually into long-term investing. He's just into coming there, buy options, and when it clicks, it just sell like that. So now there are a couple of people, don't let me say couple, there are loads of people, I won't say thousands, there are loads of people on YouTube that actually, go listen to random people. I want to listen to this guy. I want to talk. This guy is very nice. He know what he's doing and all that stuff. If the guy you're listening to is not in the niche that you are into, you're going to get yourself in trouble, and especially in the bear market that we are in at the moment. Myself, I'm a long-term investor. I'm not a swinger. Sometimes I swing, but I won't call myself a swinger, right? I do short-term sometimes, but most of the time, all my trades are long-term investor. We have somebody on YouTube who's got like over 1 million subscribers. I'm not going to mention him, but he's a Caucasian guy, right? This guy, he has vast knowledge about stock market, market analysis, real estate and all that stuff. He knows what he's doing. But sometimes he changes, direction. So people were confused. You said this last week. Why are you changing your mind this time? Why you telling us to do this now, this and that? Because we don't bother to research ourselves. We don't bother to check these companies, these fundamentals of this company. We prefer to sit down 30 minutes, listen to this guy telling us what to do, a total stranger online, and we actually follow suit, which is wrong. But to get yourself or to reduce the pressure on yourself on who you want to listen to, try to understand the guy you're listening to and see, is what he's talking about aligned with what I'm doing at the moment? You will know in a couple of minutes. You will know when he starts talking that this guy is an option guy. I don't need to listen to him because we are probably sometimes emotional about our trade. There's this geezer from South Asia, Southeast Asia. He's popular over there anyway. So he's a YouTuber as well. He always tell people, yeah, bear market, everything will be wiped out and all that stuff. Stay away. Don't do this, don't do that. this guy is actually a margin trader. He trades margin and option because he doesn't care what is happening. He just want to hold his money. That's trying to time the market. And guess what? People try to time the market. Ask them what happened to them at the end of the day. So you don't want to be timing the market. You want to dollar cost average into good companies and all that stuff. There's this, African American guy on YouTube as well. He always call people out, always tell, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's this, and that. That's not how to deal with stuff like that. Most of the stuff he talk about on his channel is talking people down, telling people this guy doesn't know what he's talking about and all that. So that's what he does. If you listen to people like that, you're not going anywhere. It's not actually giving you the depth knowledge that you need on how to analyze a company or how to understand the fundamental of companies. He always tell you I buy S&P and all that stuff. Why do what if I'm not into ETF? I want to buy real company. I want to hold real company, not ETF. So if he doesn't talk about ETF or S&P 500, it's going to be dragging people out on YouTube, and he's got people following him and watching him as well. We need to understand the real reason why we're listening to these people and we were listening to. I got a friend, he was watching this guy on YouTube. I'm not going to mention him on here, so I'm just trying to tell you that be very careful who you're watching. So he was listening to this guy, and the guy was telling them he's done his research on this little, company. It's a SPAC, but, that last year in 2020, when SPAC was just, flying everywhere. So this guy said, I've done everything. I saw the CEO. These guys, they're applying something in the pipeline. When it comes out, people will be getting like 50%, 70%, and all that stuff from this trade. So he bought it as well that time. And, guess what? All of a sudden, things change around. Putin decided to invade Ukraine and everything goes south. So he was now saying, I shouldn't have listened to this guy. I was like, well, don't blame the guy, blame yourself. You should blame yourself. Before you buy any company, you have to do your own research because you are putting your real money in play. You are not putting that guy's money. You're actually putting your own money in play here. And you have to research, understand this company as well. If you're not doing that, you're actually gambling. So, for example, somebody who's trading option is more or less like gambling. Tesla will be 1,500 by December 7, 2022. What if, something happened before then and Tesla ended up $400, something like that? That's your money gone. So if you're trying to listen to people on YouTube, understand the reason why you're listening to them and if what they're talking about align with your own objectives. If not, please walk away and listen to your man. I'm not saying you should be watching me, but I'm saying if you're looking for option guy, I'm not your man. I'm not your guy. If you're looking for a swing trader, I'm not your guy. If you're looking for a short-term investor, I'm not your guy. I'm a long-term investor. That's why I invest in Tesla. I invest in Microsoft. I invest in PayPal. I invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and some other big companies like that. I invest in Palantir as well. So I am buying into the future. I know these are the companies that are going to change, the way we live in the future and all that stuff. So I'm not worried about what's happening now. I'm not worried about the bear market that we have or recession is coming. I'm not worried because I don't need the money now. I don't need the money in the next 2 years. All I'm targeting is next 5 and 10 years, 15 years. So if that is your goal, if that is your plan, well, you can actually subscribe to my channel and listen to me. I always talk about market review and all that stuff. So I don't want to waste your time on that. Let's go to the market review this week. So this week, right, Jerome Powell actually met with the Senate and they were asking him questions. He was grilled. I mean, he was really grilled. So he told them that, well, he's got all the tools to fight inflation. And he wouldn't mind if he has to go to the level of recession to bring down inflation. If that's what it's going to take, he's ready to go along the line of that. But it thinks we can still avoid recession. But if it takes a recession to bring the inflation down, it's going to go that way. And anyway, the market went green. The whole week was one of the best weeks since 2020. So, Nasdaq was up 7% in a week. S&P was up 4% and Dow Jones probably 4-5% for the whole week. So people were happy. They were wondering what's going on. So also that week, Biden said, well, he has to take out the tax on fuel. So in US, the price at the pump now, for the first time since a couple of months or a couple of weeks, has gone down to under $5 for a fuel at the pump. So things like these are making the analysts to think that I think we have probably peaked. Probably the inflation has peaked. So, and the University of Michigan, they made a research and a survey, and they discovered inflation has probably peaked. So with that news, then the market, well, if the inflation has peaked, then let's slow down the gas. And they believe if actually inflation has peaked, the next CPI is going to tell us. And if it's actually peaked and it comes down below 8%, guess what? The Fed are going to actually, soften the pedal on rate raising. So by that, market has already priced that in, and that's why you see the market went green last week. So don't bother. That's the news that make the market to go up like that. So quickly, let me talk about Solana, because I'm talking about market review anyway. I'll just bring market review. So Solana actually, they're developing a model of a mobile phone now at this point, and the phone, they want to go into technology, want to go into phone, production and all that stuff to rival Samsung, Apple, and some other, big phone makers out there. So the phone they're looking at is like the model is online. If you want to check, go online. It said they want the phone to be one of the biggest out there to to compete with the big ones that we have at the moment. So they're looking at 12 gigabytes of RAM and 500 gigabytes of memory. And with that, people are thinking, I think Solana is going gaming. So because in gaming, you need a big RAM on your phone to play actually real gaming, not all those, medium gaming. So with the look of things, I think Solana is actually setting itself aside from other cryptocurrency. So they want to go in this direction, which is going to separate them and which is going to drive the price at this point, or maybe in the nearest future. So if they go this way, people are thinking that means Solana is going gaming, which is going to be a big one for them, and which is going to be, a big rival to Ethereum. So that's one thing. That's one news that came out as well. I hope they actually, go ahead with this and, things turn around, because Solana is one of my, cryptocurrency that I hold, and I'm not planning to sell at this point. I think I plan to buy more if we go into recession, because the price is going to go down, regardless of what happens, price is going to go down. So the rally we see now is probably a bear market rally. That's what it's called. We still have not bottomed yet. I don't think the market is bottomed yet. So don't be surprised if we go, down again next week and all that stuff. So because it's just a little rally in the bear market, because the inflation is still out there, but the next CPI is going to tell us what is going to be happening. And people are still predicting that there's no way we can avoid recession at this point. So if we go into recession, I'm not worried. And why should you worry? Because you're a long-term investor. If you're a short-term investor, then you need to be swinging at this point. If you're not swinging, you're going to be caught out holding the bag. So, but as for now, if my portfolio is minus 40, minus 50, I don't care now, because I don't need the money. So I'm keeping that for the next 5-10 years. And guess what? Market almost always, right? Market always go back up. Check last 10 years, 2012, look at where market S&P was, NASDAQ was, look at where he's at the moment. So market always find a way to go up. So I don't care about now. And if that is your plan as well, if you're a long-term investor, don't worry about the rally, don't worry about the bear market, don't worry about the red you see in your portfolio. Just leave it there. Time will always, bring out the best in your portfolio. So don't worry about the red you see today. It's going to turn green tomorrow and in the nearest future. But what I'm just saying is, bear market is not over yet. We are not out of the woods. So get that. So I think Solana is going to give these blockchains that are just like, they're not doing anything. It's going to give them a run for their money. And that is where we're going to see the difference between what I buy and what you buy. So if you're buying into some altcoins that you think is not going anywhere, you should probably be changing your mind now, trim down, and probably be buying into cryptocurrency that you think is going to be out there in the nearest future. And especially if we go into a recession, because a recession is going to bring all of them down, and that's where you need to start picking them up. Bitcoin has, maybe bottomed last week and, 17,000. We don't know how it's going to go, but I still think we might see 18,000 again, and that's where I'll probably be scooping some as well at 18,000. So, well, all I've said today is, my own